I got a question for you. Either today or tomorrow, you're going to McDonald's. You're going to be working the fryer. Are you going to wear the paper hat?
I'm going to do everything. I tell you what.
You're going to do it.
A friend of mine
owns going to do it.
McDonald's someplace. Oh, I'm going.
I think we can all agree, no matter what side you support, whether conservative or liberal, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, this political season is absolutely insane. And somehow, McDonald's became a focal point between all of the parties, and now it looks like Donald Trump will actually be running the fryer at McDonald's.
You're going to wear the paper hat.
I'm going to do everything. I tell you what.
You're going to do it.
A friend of mine
owns
going
to do it.
McDonald's someplace. Oh, I'm going. Because she lied.
You don't think she ever worked at McDonald's?
I know she did. We checked it out. Unless somebody comes up with something. We checked it out. They said she never worked here. She even picked the store. We went to the manager. The manager's been there forever. You remember her? No, she never worked here. They know. Okay.
No, so will you wear the paper hat?
And you know who else stopped talking about it? The press. If I said I worked at McDonald's and it turned out not to be true, this would be the front page of that stupid New York Times, the worst paper. It is the worst rag. The New York Times is the worst, they would have me front page for months. Nobody, I can't get any. That's why I have to do it myself. That's why I'm doing it.
So you're going to get trained and you're going to make French fries?
Well, I don't know how much the training will be.
Not too much salt.
It's not going to be. Oh.
Just not that much.
I love that show.
I don't know how you do.
Okay, one thing I want to point out is that I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, he doesn't actually have a friend who owns a McDonald's, or he didn't even say where he's going. You have to understand in context, and I think Donald actually caught himself. He can't actually say where he's going or what he's going to do because, again, people have tried to take him out literally now up to 3 times. Some people even say more than that. So that is why most likely Donald is kind of being a little elusive here. I do think he'll actually do it because this is, I don't want to say propaganda, but this is an awesome clip for Donald Trump, considering he's been told over and over again he'd never make it in McDonald's.
You heard the story. You knew Vice President Harris grew up in a middle-class family, picked up shifts at that McDonald's as a student. I keep asking this to make a contrast here. Can you simply picture Donald Trump working at a McDonald's trying to make a McFlurry or something? Oh, he knows us. He couldn't run that damn McFlurry machine if it cost him anything, so.
Now, I'm going to level with both sides here. I understand why Kamala and her campaign would say, look, I grew up middle class. I'm trying to be relatable to you. She even admits, I never really had a family. I was just working there to try and support myself through college. But I understand people who do work there to support their families. I support you and I understand what you went through. The only issue is I don't understand why they would choose something that they can't prove. And honestly, I'm kind of in the middle here. I don't know if it's true or not. Like, I don't know why anybody would ever try to prove they've ever worked at McDonald's ever. Not that somebody ever has had pride in what they did, but this is like one of the backbones of Kamala's campaign is that she worked at McDonald's. But again, there is literally zero evidence that she did. I am not implying that she never worked there. I'm just saying there's hardly any evidence. So I find it so weird or really fascinating that they keep going with this McDonald's, but there's no evidence for it.
Your opponent almost every day seems to be talking about this. So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working at a McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay. Now the other job.
But it was not a small job. Like, I did the fries. I mean, yes,
okay, for a small period of time. But then let me ask about a big job.
But to your point, if you don't mind, before you get to the big job, there's a part of the reason I even talk about having worked at McDonald's is because there are people who work at McDonald's in our country who are trying to raise a family. I worked there as a student. I was a kid.
Now, the reason why I play that clip is because expect this. When Donald Trump works at McDonald's and actually works the fryer, works the front desk, and interacts with all those people at McDonald's, I guarantee all of these clips of Kamala Harris are going to get blasted out to the public of all of the times she has worked at McDonald's or all the times she's done this or done that for the middle class. So again, expect this to be even more viral than it already has been. As far as Donald Trump doing this because he actually cares about McDonald's workers, I'm not sure. If anything, I think the Donald Trump campaign is really in tune on kind of the meme culture at this point. I think they understand that the mainstream media could care less about this, but when it comes to the underground media, like Twitter or Spaces or maybe even on YouTube and independent reporting, this story is going to get picked up like crazy because the majority of people, they get their news from Twitter, or sorry, X, and Elon Musk, he owns X, and you know he's going to push this everywhere. That is why right now Donald Trump, he sort of has a lot of momentum going his way because his campaign team, his media team, they are really in tune on what people want. I mean, they want entertainment, they want education, and Donald Trump working at McDonald's, it really actually does level the playing field at how funny he could be and how easygoing he could be, and I think people really want to see that.
When she was young, she worked at McDonald's, and she greeted every person with that 1,000-watt smile and said, "How can I help you?" Now she's at the pinnacle of power, and she's still asking, "How can I help you?" I'll be so happy when she actually enters the White House as president, because she will break my record as the president who spent the most time at McDonald's.
Now again, the reason why I keep showing these clips is because I am not kidding when I tell you this is a very pivotal point for the Kamala Harris campaign. That she worked at McDonald's and that she's super relatable, and that, as you could see from Bill Clinton, he doesn't actually know this. He doesn't know, or maybe he does because he went to McDonald's a lot and he even joked about it. He doesn't know if she sat there smiling and she was so happy and she was glad to be there. I'm not trying to discriminate on McDonald's workers. That's some super, super tough work. And again, if Kamala did work there and there's no evidence other than hearsay and what she says, we don't know if Kamala was even that happy or not. So again, I'm just playing these clips for you to show you why Donald Trump now is sort of playing into this meme culture and sort of playing into the narrative of like, okay, she worked at McDonald's, now I have also worked at McDonald's, so what are you going to do about it? And the last thing I want to finish off with is this. If there is any presidential campaign or former president or anyone in politics who's super into fast food, admittedly, it's literally Donald Trump. And I'm not even saying this just to be like all hype about Donald Trump, but in this particular situation, I think where the Kamala Harris campaign went severely wrong is that we tend to forget, and you can Google this, Donald Trump would frequently eat McDonald's. He loves Diet Cokes. He loves McDonald's Diet Coke. He loves fast food. He is the guy who is known, the president who is known to have given fast food to professional athletes who won competitions or won at their sports, come to the White House and they were eating fast food. He got so criticized about this that, again, I really do think that the Democrats totally forgot that Donald Trump is all about fast food. So this narrative of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz saying Donald Trump could never handle McDonald's or he could never do this and never do that. Out of everybody ever who's ever served in office, I guarantee Donald Trump has probably eaten the most McDonald's out of everybody, and he will even admit he loves McDonald's. So again, we shall see what happens, and I'm really looking forward to all of those clips going viral all over the internet from both campaigns of Donald Trump working at McDonald's.